How Mexican drug cartels are making profit now. There are a lot of reasons why drug cartels are so successful, and the list of their benefits grows endlessly with each passing day. The Mexican drug cartels operate in an underground, illegal environment that allows them to practice their trade without any form of regulation or limitation that would typically exist in other legal businesses. On top of this, they can make incredible profits. They smuggle and distribute illegal drugs that have become more popular than ever among the young people across the world. Hello there and welcome to Econify. Our like and subscribe buttons right here. Just do well to hit it and tell us your opinion in the comments. In this video, we're going to find out how the Mexican drug gangs are ranking in the dough these days. So I suggest you stick around till the very end. You won't regret it. Come on then, let's keep going. The Mexican drug cartels. Large sums of money circulate inside the drug black market. According to a report published by the United Nations in 2011, the global market value of illegal drug sales and other transitional organized crime was estimated to be $870 billion, which was somewhat like 1.5% of the global GDP in 2009. The Mexican drug cartels have evolved to be a source of profit and power in Mexico and Central America. That's become quite unparalleled in modern history. These organizations can no longer just be considered drug traffickers, rather they've become transitional criminal organizations that cover all manner of crime, including illegal immigration, human smuggling, kidnapping, extortion, and even political corruption. And in the recent times, the dynamics of financial economies are changing, and this prompts them to develop new ways to keep the money coming in. Let's look at these means. Mexican drug gangs are turning to Bitcoin, the internet, and e-commerce. According to a study issued by the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, drug gangs in Mexico are becoming tech-savvy and now increasingly using the internet, Bitcoin, and e-commerce to launder money and distribute drugs. Cartels like Jalisco New Generation Cartel and the Sinaloa Cartel increasingly employ remote online Bitcoin purchases to dodge money laundering rules. According to the research, these Mexican cartels are set to launder around $25 billion in Mexico each year. That's bigger than the GDP of some countries. And how do they do this? By utilizing the accounts to acquire a succession of modest sums of Bitcoin online after dividing the drug revenues into little payments to escape regulations, disguising the source of the funds and allowing them to pay their associates worldwide. Based on the findings, criminal organizations in Mexico and Colombia are increasingly turning into virtual currency for its anonymity and ease to use. In addition to that, some online merchants have had a considerable influence on medicine sales, and many of them use their websites to frequently promote to fentanyl-laced tablets such as Xanax or Adderall or oxycodone. And according to the control board member Raul Morton del Campo, people don't even realize it. Del Campo also said that the drug gangs are resurrecting ancient formulations for synthetic drugs that had gone out of favor due to their adverse side effects. Iron ore is now more profitable to Mexican cartels than drugs. The infamous Knight Templar drug gang, known throughout western Mexico, no longer relies on drug trafficking as its primary source of revenue. Instead, iron ore has become their primary source of income. According to a special envoy to the Mexican government, the cartel's primary money sources are mining, forestry, and extortion. It is the Mexican government's first significant recognition that a formidable organized criminal network has gone beyond drug trafficking. You should know that the Knights Templar began as a substantial producer and carrier of the methamphetamine and has recently ruled the Mexican state of Michoacán. The group's expansion of activities beyond narcotics has significant ramifications since it indicates that organized crime in Mexico is getting established throughout the country's economy. Mexican drug cartels profits from price hikes that saw a boom in fentanyl production. Mexican drug cartels are making a killing from price hikes, and it's not hard to see why. Over the last few years, prices of heroin in America have quadrupled, and thanks to the opioid epidemic, cocaine is selling far more than it has in decades. These upswings were undoubtedly exacerbated by immigration and trade, all of which the cartels capitalized on. And it seems that these guys may be making more profit now than ever. They've diversified into new and old markets. For example, They've been smuggling more significant amounts of methamphetamines into America, while also simultaneously sending tons of fentanyl-laced heroin back home to Mexico. And there is the fact that this appears to all be happening with impunity, and that is sad. In recent years, synthetic narcotics have become a primary priority for Mexican drug cartels, diversifying their criminal portfolio. The cultivation and labor force necessary for making cocaine or heroin are pretty much the same as those needed by real businesses. This is why these cartels are drawn to ways in which they might have to cut expenses, and that is exactly through fentanyl. Fentanyl's precursor compounds are quite inexpensive, allowing for an estimated production cost that is 1/100th that of heroin. Even if it's only a few thousands, they're making drugs with a black market value reaching many millions of dollars. And fentanyl production is pretty easy and low-tech, necessitating neither much experience nor expensive equipment. With that, a few individuals can produce a kilo of fentanyl in a day and make a whole lot of cash, much more than you can imagine. Mexican drug cartels profit from smuggling. The Sinaloa cartel has profited from the illegal trade of endangered animals and plants. The US, the Fish and Wildlife Services, is seeking to seize over $1 billion in assets from this drug cartel. Wait, $1 billion? The US FWS has spent years digging into allegations that the Sinaloa cartel illegally exported turtles, parrots and other species of protected wildlife to Asia and Europe. This illegal trade devastates ecosystems worldwide, as these animals are usually only found in specific locations or climates, which have now been overrun by poachers looking for a quick profit. It is also predicted that over 1 million species of plants and animals are going to be extinct during our lifetimes. No one wants to see an ecosystem collapse, but that's exactly what might happen if more isn't done to combat this problem. Not only that, but these drug cartels also make money from extortion. Mexican drug cartels are making more money from extortion by targeting regular business owners. They use intimidation and violence to force them to pay protection money to continue operating their business. For example, a restaurant owner said he had been threatened with a message telling him to hand over $1,200 per week or face the consequences. No one wants to face any consequences. These threats have led some businesses in Mexico to pay the extortionists so they can focus on running their businesses rather than paying off the cartel. You might ask what the police are doing about it. Many people don't report these incidents because they fear retribution and they believe it will happen anyway. In recent times, it was estimated that over $250 million was extorted out of small businesses alone. In Mexico, there are an estimated 4 million SMEs, which together account for roughly 72% of labor force and 52% of the GDP. That's why they're crucial to the functioning of the economy. A Bank of Mexico research found that DTOs create a criminal environment by using violence, extortion, and kidnapping against businesses who refuse to work with them. Since the cartels pose such a threat, many businesses and individuals feel they must relocate to a less volatile regions. Because of this, company owners avoid putting money into startups in those areas, and that discourages entrepreneurship. And what does that mean for Mexico? Mexico is one of the most dangerous countries in the world. In 2017, Mexico's homicide rate was nearly 20 per 100,000, with only war-torn Syria a close second at 17.3. The violence has been fueled by drug cartels and trafficking to sell drugs in other countries like the United States. Not only has this violence caused mass casualties and terrorized the population, but it has also crippled the economy of Mexico, which relies heavily on tourism. Finally, Mexico's drug cartels are making significant profits now from the increased demand. These cartels have been around longer and have always found a way to make money. Many Americans are turning to these drugs as means of coping with the effects of the economic recession. Since they are unable to get jobs or buy the necessary medications, these cartels are always finding new ways to make profit, but it doesn't come without consequences. Many of the people who buy these drugs don't even know where they're coming from or what's in them, which makes them an easy target for addiction. Alright guys, that's a wrap. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and be sure to tell us what you think in the comments. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any videos like this one.